Hi everyone, as asked by a couple of my friends and my family members, they want to know how I built the what I like to call the elephant steadycam. And I know there are a lot of designs online, but this is just one I came up with, combining a few of the better designs that I've came across, including the smoothie steadycam that can be bought off the shelf. I've spent less than $15 on all the components, and if you guys want to have a go, it takes about a day to make it at most, but yeah, it was quite fun. So the most important part of the Steadicam is the gimbal, which I made from a detachable handle right here. Okay, the gimbal, I'll bring it closer, as you can see, is made up of 3 pipes. Most importantly is the bearing at the bottom here. The bearing is essentially a skateboard bearing. You can buy it off the shelf at any hardware store. Once you find the bearing, you need to find a pipe which fits the bearing. It does not need to be exact. What I did is I put the bearing inside and I glued around it. Must be very careful, and cut off slightly like a centimeter off the top. This is my first gimbal. Alright. Then you find 2 other pipes which are slightly bigger and can fit one inside the other. You drill holes through and put them all together with screws and washers, and you should get something like this. Okay. Subsequently, you find yourself a couple of smaller screws. I don't have any. Yeah. And thread them through the whole construction into a wooden handle. You wrap it up in grip tape to give it a better feel, and you paint the whole thing black. The next part is the body. Okay, the body can be broken down into 3 parts. The main body, which is from a T piping joint, this elbow connector, and this part, which is basically sawn off from PVC pipe. Okay. What you want to do is you want to grab an L bracket like this and use some kneadable epoxy, epoxying it to the top of the T-joint over here, like that. Then you get a small section of piping, cut it off, so you could attach the 90-degree elbow connector to the front, like that. This actually sits on top of your handle, and you need a small piece of piping with a bunch of washers stuck on the inside to fit to the back. The number of washers I can't tell you, because you need to go and figure out by trial and error how much to put to balance your whole system, and you can only do that by trial and error, and I'll describe how to do that in my next video, balancing the Steadicam. Last but not least is the front weight. The front weight is actually a long PVC pipe, similar to this. You heat up the center over a stove and you carefully bend it into this angle. The angle is very important. When you put everything together like that, okay, you want the weights to sit behind the pivot. So this actually has to bring the front weight, which I have over here, behind this. Okay. The bottom weight is simple. I just put a nut through a washer right here, and I glued everything together. Let me just take everything out to show you. see, I have a long bolt, I've got a nut, I've got epoxy through the whole construction, and what it does, it allows me to add more weights. If let's say I have a heavier phone or a heavier camera on top, lets me add more weight to the bottom. And this is important, I'll describe in my next video, as you need to balance the whole system to make it effective. If not, it will just swing around wildly. Finally, on the L bracket, after you painted everything a nice matte black to give it a illusion of professionalism, you grab an iPhone case. Okay, I have one here. You grab a cheap iPhone case and you attach a Velcro strip to the bottom, another couple of Velcro strips here, and so you can stick it on, and that would be your mount for the phone. And there you have it. When you put everything together, get the elephant steadycam. Properly balanced. In my next video, I'll teach you how to balance it so that you get a steady shot each time. Even if you move side to side, up and down, and all around, you get a steady shot. Thank you for watching, and check the links below to see if you can find my next video on how to balance the whole system. Cheers.